Some stories don't begin with a scream, they begin with a smile. Tonight, my dear listeners, we're open a file about a man who shouldn't exist, someone who follows without footsteps, watches without blinking, and smiles without ever stopping. If you ever walk alone at night, this one's for you. We're opening the file number 2. The Smiling Man, a stroll in the night, turned nightmare. And it goes like this. Elias Rivera loved walking at night. The quiet, the wind, the empty streets. It was his way of clearing the noise from his mind. But one this night, the silence felt wrong, like something was holding its breath. The first sign was the clicking, soft, repetitive, like fingernails tapping on concrete. Elias froze. Ahead, beneath a flickering streetlight, stood a man, tall, thin, wearing clothes too formal for midnight. But it wasn't his shape that bothered Elias. It was the smile, too wide, too stretched, too clean, almost painted on. The man swayed side to side like a puppet whose strings were tugged by invisible hands. His shoes tapped with each unnatural way. Elias stepped backward. The smiling man stopped. His head twitched sideways, as if he had heard something inside Elias' thoughts. Then his arms rose, slow, delicate motions like he was greeting an old friend. The smile stretched further. Elias turned and began walking faster. Behind him, there were no footsteps, only the clicking. Getting closer, he didn't dare look back. He cut through side streets, overgrown yards, darkened alleys. But the smiling man's clicks echoed everywhere, like he wasn't following, but appearing. Elias reached a dead end behind an abandoned grocery store. He spun around, breath trembling. The smiling man was already there, blocking the exit, still smiling, still swaying. I don't want any trouble, Elias whispered. The smiling man tilted his head. The sound that came from him wasn't a voice. It was the wet grin of teeth pressing together, even though he never opened his mouth. His hand lifted and pointed to Elias' chest. The smile widened, skin stretching until it creaked. Elias stumbled back. The clicking grew rapid. Not footsteps, not shoes, only bones, cracking, shifting, rearranging. The smiling man leaning close, his face inches away. The smile never blinked, and then everything went dark. Elias woke up on his own doorstep just before sunrise, clothes torn, shoes muddy. hands trembling. He couldn't remember how he got home, but on his chest, drawn in a perfect curve, was a red mark, a smile. Since that night, people walking along in the neighborhood report the same thing, a clicking behind them. A tall man with a smile too wide for a human face, a presence that follows without walking, and every victim wakes up home with the same mark, the smiling man's signature. So, my dear listeners, what do you think about walking at night by yourself and see this creature, this figure at night? But just remember, if you ever hear a soft clicking behind you on an empty street, don't turn around. The smiling man loves being seen, but he loves it even more when you try to run. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the story of the smiling man. Tomorrow, I'm going to interview a person who is in the world of the film industries. If you don't want to miss this story and this interview, all you have to do is follow the Holos Files. Follow my podcast on Facebook and YouTube, because remember, every legend leaves a scar.